First of all, I wanted to start off by saying how dedicated and serious I am about doing this book. And I think you should all be just as sorry, I can't carry on. So I am having fun. This is what I'm doing. I'm creating and I'm exploring, and at the same time I'm figuring out who I am as a person. And the whole point of me going through this book is because I'm intrigued, and I think more so than anything that it's good to explore like yourself and become better in yourself, and find out more about yourself. And that book, it does go into self-development, and that's what I am currently doing at the moment. I'm exploring myself and I'm bettering myself, and the whole part of the book club is not so that I can sit there and I can say, right, this is how it has to be done and this is the only way that it needs to be done, so we're all doing it this way. No, the whole point of the book club is about collective learning, and I know that I don't know everything. I know that I've got lots to learn, and I know that somebody's opinion could change my way of thinking, because their way of thinking could be more advanced than what my way of thinking is, if that makes sense. So I'd like to form a book club, just because everybody's entitled to their opinion and everybody should be able to express their opinion. Not everybody's going to like somebody else's opinion, but when you think of somebody else's opinion and think, oh God, that really doesn't feel right, instead of looking at that person and going, well, you're not right, it's more of a, well, why doesn't that feel right with me? Like, why does their opinion not feel right with me? Like, and exploring that bit a bit more. So that's what the book club is about, but this is more of an update on the week. So again, a lot of things like have happened, not like, dramatic things, but I've met some more lovely people just by being open and being open to conversation. And I don't know if anybody else is like, normally if something intrigues me, I'm like, oh well, that's intriguing, and I'll just leave it at that. Whereas now I'm like, oh well, that's intriguing, I want to explore a bit more about that, even if it's just a name. So somebody this week, their name just kind of rolled off my tongue, and I thought, well, that's quite sweet. And I just kept repeating that name because I thought, that's a really nice name. And I think I freaked them out a bit because they were like, why do you keep repeating my name? And I thought, I just like the way it rolls off my tongue, so I continue to do that. And because of that, I've formed a great, well, the start of a relationship anyway, and that's what it's all about. However, there is something else that I have learnt yesterday, that I want to share all with you, because you probably all know this, but I don't know this, so I just like to share it with you because I thought it was amazing. So for those of you that don't know, I've really stepped into, I wouldn't say like a religion, although it is a religion, like Hindu. This year for me has just been amazing, and I'm learning so much about certain things. But I just wanted to share with you one thing, not because I want to force people to believe a certain thing, because that's not right, but I just want to share it with you because I thought, my God, that's amazing. So for the next 9 days, they're celebrating like a feminine goddess kind of thing, and I don't 100% know about it, so I want you all to investigate it and have a look into it. So it's basically where they celebrate a goddess or the goddess. But what somebody like said to me, which I thought, oh my God, that is so sweet, is that for the next 9 days, they see like young girls as like goddesses, so they treat them you know, and they feed them and they give them presents and stuff like that. And it's not just, you know, thinking that, you know, that women are more deserving of men, because they're not. But just the thought of being like a young girl and being celebrated for being a woman, I think is amazing. And I just wanted to share that with you, because I think for the next 9 days, I'm going to try and make every woman that I meet smile, or make them feel special in a certain way, not just because they're women, but just because of the feminine, you know, nature, whether that's got anything to do with this or what they are celebrating, I don't know, but I'm just taking the part with me that I'm going to celebrate women in their form for the next 9 days. I'm going to celebrate them how they are. I don't want to overpower men in any way, because that's not what I'm about. I'm just about celebrating certain things, and for the next 9 days it's going to be women. So I thought I would share that with you. But I thought I would go to the board. Do you remember I said last week my amazing board that I started? And this week I've not really gone with it at all, because I like to make excuses for myself. It's not, it's just that because this week, I think last week it was brought to my attention that I've not really been studying. I've not really been reading, or not really been listening to self-motivating things, because there's no reason. Because I'm going to use time as an excuse, because everybody's got an excuse. My excuse this week and for the last few weeks has just been time. So for many of you that know me, you know that I've got 2 jobs, I've got a child and I've got a dog. So my day's full with work, cleaning, cooking, and then I come home, and I've been coming home most weeks to be taking part in like a motivational Zoom call, which have been absolutely brilliant. And that's been like my main focus, is like I need to jump on, I need to get like motivated. But what I found is that I've been jumping onto these Zoom calls, getting really motivated, and then been thinking, well, what am I motivated for? You know, why am I motivated? And I'm really motivated, I feel really, really good. But what am I doing with that motivation? And I've been kind of just been like feeling really, really motivated and not really knowing what I'm motivated for. Now I know that since I started saying about going on my self-development, it's more to highlight to everybody else that nobody is perfect, and we all start off somewhere. And I'm just gonna try and wipe this off with a not very good thing. We might have to come back to this, but anyway, we're gonna get rid of the board, because the board's good to track progress, but I think we need to prioritise where we're going and what we're doing. Now I know that I need to eat healthy, and I know that I need to exercise, and I know that I need to study. Having it on the board and having a checklist is good, but it's not good if I'm not actually doing it, because my focus has been on other things. For those of you that don't know, I'm sure that I've said it already, that I've actually handed in my notice for my cleaning job in the evening, so I can spend more time with Lyndon and helping a lot more with him at home, and more so I can actually follow my passion. I can actually follow, you know, where I want to be in life. And where I want to be is I want to be able to bring Lyndon up to be the best person possible, and also just enjoy my time at the moment learning about me, and all the things that I couldn't like do, or I didn't feel like I could do, I'm in the position that I can now do that. And I want to explore things with Lyndon. People keep asking me what my favourite colour is this week, and I'm like, I don't know what is actually my favourite colour. I've not really explored it. I know that I like reds, I know that I like pinks, I know that I like greens, I know that I like purples, but I don't have a favourite colour. Now whether that's I don't think that's a negative thing. It's the same with people who've been asking me, what do I like to do for my hobbies? I don't know, what do you class as like a hobby when you're constantly working and you're, you know, just trying to get through the day, to get through to the next day, which is like a never-ending cycle. My hobbies at the moment consist of like Linden and just me, self-development. I'm going to put more time into self-development and improving myself as a person, and I'm going to help guide Linden a bit more. I've not really been able to do that because I've been working so much. I've always put myself into a work position because I thought by working I'm bettering the environment around myself for Linden. But the one thing that I've neglected really is being there as a mum, which I should have been a long time ago. I shouldn't have been head in and work. It's okay for me to admit that now because I can see it, but at the time I thought that I was doing the right thing, by working all the time. I thought that I was, you know, doing what I should be doing. I should be working, when I feel like Linden's missed out so much, and I want to put more time into Linden and help guide him in the right way. I don't want him becoming lost like how I've been lost. But anyway, so yes, I think that I've not really given you an update, have I? Apart from that, I am doing more with putting myself out of my comfort zone. So I'm talking more, I'm doing more live videos, I'm letting you all know that, you know, it's okay to not get things right, because nobody ever gets things right. And if they do get things right, they've been doing it for a long time. They've not just all of a sudden got from A to Z like that. I don't want people to, you know, be thinking negatively about themselves because they're not getting something straight away. Equally, I don't want people to be looking at other people and be thinking, oh my God, why does that person, you know, have everything? And it's because that person's worked hard to be able to get to what they have got. Some people will turn around and think that's, you know, somebody, I mean, and there are people that are in better positions, you know, than what we are, but it doesn't mean that we can't better ourselves and be happy within ourselves and believe in ourselves, you know, and work towards what we want. That doesn't mean that we can't do that, but we shouldn't be negative towards other people because they have something that we want. We should be imploring them, like happy for them that they've got these things. And I just wanted to share with you that I am working in the background, but I'm not working in the way that I think, I don't know, that maybe people would think that I'd be working, because I've handed in notice in my job so I can spend more time with my child, more time with him. I've just been enjoying like talking to people and building up relationships and having a laugh and having fun, you know, and I've been learning a bit about myself. Like I've been pushing boundaries in myself, because if I feel resistance to something and I'm thinking I don't want to do that, I'm thinking to myself, why don't I want to do that? Like what's that feeling? What's stopping me? Like, and is that feeling justifiable? I took a part in a Zoom call yesterday, which wasn't part of the normal group that I've been in. It was a different group, and there was a speaker there talking about how to challenge your negative thoughts, and to ask yourself, why are you feeling negative? I've actually got it written down somewhere. Let me see if I can find the book quickly. I'm going to do a quick grabbing book. I've moved. Oh no, Aiden, I've moved. So let me just have a look. So this is what happens when you're not really prepared. When I should be prepared, shouldn't I? So explore everything. So explore while you're afraid, and explore like what if. So what if something happened, and explore like why you're angry. So I am angry because, why are you angry? Like, why do you feel angry? Feel it temporarily. Don't stick within the emotion. And also, if you feel any disappointment, like why do you feel disappointed? What's the reason for you feeling disappointed? And if you're feeling sad, like looking into why you're feeling sad, like what is that emotion within yourself? Odin, did you want to come and say hello? I put a little bow on him. I'm gonna go because my washing machine is just about to go really, really loud. And you're probably not going to hear me, but basically he was talking about exploring the negative feelings that you have within yourself and just sitting with them. So that's what I'm going to be doing even more of. I have been doing that. It's not as loud as what I thought was, so maybe I might get away with them talking about. So it's just really exploring a bit more on the feelings that we have and working out why we feel them, and not like reflecting how we're feeling outwards. You know, sometimes we like get angry, or somebody will come in with an attitude. When I say somebody will come in with an attitude, you'll meet somebody with an attitude that's like, oh my god, like why can't you get things right? Or oh my god, like this is really frustrating me. And instead of like picking up on that emotion and then get really frustrated with yourself, it's more just being able to take a step back and going, one, that's not my emotion, or two, if that's really upsetting you, then being angry, it's like, well, why is that upsetting me? Why am I feeling frustrated? Like, why is that upsetting me? I'm feeling really upset now because this person's getting really aggravated. Well, why am I getting really upset? What's the reason behind that? So doing more self-development work. Now, I'm not saying that whatever I'm doing is the right thing for everybody else. I'm just updating you on what I'm doing, and I'm updating you more so to let you know that you don't get things right all the time. That's normal. You can get things right, but not to get upset with yourself if you're not getting things right, not to be angry with yourself because you're feeling angry, not to be upset with yourself because you're feeling upset. I've cried this week and I've been not happy with the facts, but I've been understanding with the fact that I'm upset. So if I've been crying, I've been okay with the fact that I'm crying, and I've explored it a bit more as to why I'm crying, to try and release that emotion instead of just getting into the woe is me kind of feeling, or just crying endlessly and not understanding why I'm feeling sad. Is looking a bit more in depthly as to why I'm sad. Why I'm sad? Because I feel alone. Well, why do you feel alone? Like, what's the reason for feeling alone? Now, I was with somebody and I felt alone when I was with somebody, and then I'm alone and I feel alone, but equally I like being on my own. I know it's a lot to get your head around, isn't it? But it's just exploring that a bit more about me, and also knowing and understanding that I like to be on my own, but then pushing those boundaries so I'm not on my own. So if I don't want to I don't want to let people get close to me because I'm worried, or I feel upset, or I feel angry about somebody getting close to me. It's exploring those feelings and thinking, why do I feel any form of emotion towards that? Like, why am I feeling, I wouldn't say angry, it's like, I don't know, uncomfortable is probably the right word. If somebody is getting a bit too close, or I'm feeling a bit too connected with somebody, I'm getting a bit frustrated with myself. Why am I getting frustrated with myself? Why am I worried about getting close to somebody? There was something else that happened this week as well, and it's literally, I had it in my head and it's gone. It's It's really bizarre, that was, because when I was thinking about it, when I was talking, I thought, oh my god, that's a good analogy, but it's just disappeared. But yeah, so it is just working on yourself and understanding yourself as a person and not taking it out on other people, because why do we do that? I'm not going to turn around and say that I've not done that, because I have. Like, if somebody else, if I'm feeling angry and somebody I feel like's not doing things a certain way, I've been known to get grumpy about it in the past. Now, I don't turn around and say to that person like horrible things, but you know how sometimes you can make a situation feel worse than what it actually is. You can be grumpy with the person behind the till because you're in a rush and you need to get to work, so you can do things like, oh god, you know, that, oh god, I need to be somewhere, you know, that like passive energy. So I'm not here to say that I'm perfect. Like, for all the people that I've been talking to this week, I'll quite happily put my hands up. I'm nowhere near perfect. I've done some really stupid, idiotic things, but it's a part of me learning, and it's a part of me going, do you know what, that was a really stupid idea. I'm not doing that again. I learn a lot from that, whether it's like a hard way of learning, which, you know, sometimes the dark, crappy places are the places where you learn so much that you've got no other way but just to move forward. And then when you become okay with that, when you understand, like, in a way, that you were in a bad place, it isn't a bad thing. Like, understanding that you were in a bad place and that you can move on from there, and not to just keep yourself back in that bad place, because the feeling of being somewhere is more comfortable than moving out of somewhere. So it's quite kind of like the same as, like, if you're sat on a sofa and you feel comfortable, regardless of you not moving and your body just seizing up and you not wanting to move, that's like feeling you're too comfortable to move. It's the same like that in life. Sometimes you can get yourself into a situation where something that isn't right feels normal, something that isn't okay feels normal, because you're used to that feeling, you're used to feeling a certain way, and sometimes pushing yourself out of a situation where you think that it's normal. Like, I can't be the only person that has gone through stuff in life that when you're in a certain situation and you're used to things being a certain way, that when you start to push out into like a positive environment, that you can't help but think that something is coming, like a negative thing is coming, because you're so used to being in that negative spot that your comfort is kind of keeping you in that place, because you're constantly looking for the negative. So you're not allowing yourself to grow because you're not letting go. I hope that makes sense. I know sometimes I ramble on a little bit and I confuse myself sometimes and I know that I confuse some people around me, but it's just basically about expanding your yourself, you know. So if you're used to being in a negative environment, when you push out of that negative environment, your first reaction is to foresee the negative coming instead of just accepting the positive, like letting the positive thing in, because the more positive, the more good that you have coming in, the less that you think about the negative. I hope I'm making sense. Anyway, I think that 24 minutes is a good update on a not so much update, but you know, as the weeks go on and the weeks progress, and now that I'm putting my mind into studying more and putting my head in 2 books, the more that I will be able to update. But it's mainly been I've just been relaxing into, you know, progressing with having conversations with people and being okay with talking to people, you know, being okay with accepting people as friends and not thinking, what do they want? You know, I've had a whole week of just being able to just accept people into my life. Now, I'm really sorry if I don't get back to everybody that is messaging me. Just give me time. If it doesn't happen within the next 2 weeks, you know that in 2 weeks' time I will no longer be working in the evenings, so I will have more time. And although it may be 2 weeks later on the line, I will get back to you. And I'm sorry for the people that keep messaging and I keep replying, like, because it'll be hello, how are you, and then a couple of days later it's hello, how are you. I'm sorry that I've not been able to get back to you, but please understand that at the moment I have got a lot on, but I'm working on letting that go so I can be able to interact a bit more and get to know you a bit more, and you know, you can get to know me a bit more. But that's just it. So thank you everybody, and this is not me saying that you have got to do this, okay, but for the next 9 days please just make a conscious decision to you know, just be nice to the girls, okay? Just be nice. So smile. You know, if I do this, you know, I've gone into the coffee shop and I've said, can I pay for the person's next coffee? You know, just be happy that we've got girls in our lives, like, and be happy that we've got feminine people in our life. Like, be happy with the feminine. Like, just, you know, you don't even have to buy drinks or anything like that. Just be appreciative of that we do have feminine ladies around. You know, there's so much masculinity going on, that it's nice to have feminine people. Anyway, that's me, and I will speak to you again in a week's time. But for all of those that are listening to my lives, thank you.